Top of the morning to you. Hi, how you doing? Wow, it's a Monday morning. It's 9 o'clock. Tap, share, and repost the live. We're on with you for 1 hour. 9 till 10 o'clock. Hello, neighbor. Daytime. Your neighbor on Caroline. Okay, so tolls will be starting to charge tonight. You've been getting a little bit of a free pass through on the tolls. Well, that is going to change. As of tonight, we are asking you to repost. There is a little arrow at the bottom of your screen. Press it and share it with others, all right? Thank you so much for doing that. All right, the police is finding cow carcasses in a van in Manchester. They're saying, careful how you're buying meat at this time. You have to be careful how you buy meat. Some of these animals are dead. Well, they died in the storm, and wow, wouldn't even want to suggest what people are doing. So how the thing works is that you have to share the live, okay? So let's get more people joining now, please. Tap and share and repost. Good morning, One Queen D. Great Monday morning to you. Where in the world are you waking up from? It's another week to work. The sun is out in Kingston. Warm 28 degrees Celsius in the capital city, and we're not expecting any showers this week at all. Tomorrow it will be cloudy and sprinkling of rain on Wednesday, but for the rest of this week it will be all sunshine in Jamaica. Relief effort continues in the western part of the island. Florida is in the building. Welcome to the program today, the primetime edition. Tap, share, and repost. Help us to achieve our life goal. You're fantastic, you listeners. Great morning to you. Top of the morning. Kerry, Auntie Angie, good morning to you. Sophia Powell, 211. That's the year you were born, Sophia. You were born in 2011. You're a young girl. Good morning to you. Morning to Kerry. Hi, Kerry, you're always here. By the way, Kerry, talk to Caroline for me. Talk to Caroline about something, all right? Get in touch with Caroline. You may need your help, Kerry. Or you're a Kerry. Your mother called you Care? Or Care? Good morning, Christine. Ben. Not Ben, Bent, 0. Good morning to Kerry. Please get in touch with Caroline. Caroline, we may need your help, all right? Talk to Caroline for me. Your mother called you Kerry. And what does your husband call you? KK? KK, all right. Affectionately called KK. Roll. 10 o'clock. me until 10. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, they have issued an urgent public warning after police intercepted a van in Manchester carrying the carcasses of 4 large brown cows under suspicious circumstances. 4 cows in the van. The driver fled the scene, leaving behind the carcasses with their heads still attached, the statement said. Food safety is now an issue. You have to be very careful how you're buying meat, mutton and hog and all of that. You have to watch it. You hear? Make sure you're buying these things from reputable people. Do you drive on the toll? Well, you're going to have to start paying as of tomorrow. The collection of tolls resumes today. Recovery efforts having been facilitated, the toll operator said, all right, we're going to have to start collecting again. All right, so thank you for the little reprieve that we got. Thank you for the little reprieve. All right, let's see if we can figure something out here and speak to you about a few matters before we chat with you. Morning, Caroline. How are you doing?
Good morning, neighbor. I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, another week to see what we can do here on this program. Been a tough week last week. The recovery efforts are continuing in Jamaica, and looking forward to Parliament tomorrow to see what is going to be coming out of that. How was your week? Had a great night?
Had a good night. Yes, I am good.
Fantastic. Well, I don't know what has happened to my notes, but I have not seen them up on the screen, so I'm trying to see if I can reload them or something like that.
Okay.
Yep, I may have to. Give me just a second here, listeners.
this is all very exciting.
All right, here we go. Okay. All right. So, morning again. You hear? Morning, and welcome to the program. The response of some Jamaicans to the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, there is a disconnection. You recall that I've been telling you about the illusion of ignorance. It seems, you see, that the spirit of resilience and community that has always defined us has left us, and there is a growing sense of entitlement. The growing sense of entitlement is threatening the recovery efforts. For while we are seeing people taking more than they can manage, there is hoarding of resources. And at the same time, there is an expectation that the government is supposed to come rescue them. It is like we have lost sight of the fact that disaster response is a collective effort. It's handout people are look. A Christmas come. It seems like there is a disconnect between the spirit of resilience. You know, that spirit that gets you back up. Huh? Let's bounce a little of this song here and no man, let's deal with this today.
Sitting in the mornings,
Pick yourself up, man.
watching all the birds passing by.
Tap and share and let's go. Let's discuss this morning.
Know how much
Let's discuss this morning.
I could fly, and I tried. I said I tried. I really tried.
You have to try.
I got to pick myself up.
Pick yourself and dust yourself up and start over.
Start all over again. I got to pick myself up.
Where is the spirit of resilience that has always defined us? Why has that been replaced by a sense of entitlement? You see, we have practiced for years, predominantly the PNP, a politics of patronage and distribution. And it a mash us up now, you know. Entitlement. Because here is it that people are hoarding. They are taking more than they need. And everything you can call Andrew Holness. You know, this mentality of freeness, this mentality of freeness, and that's where the generator argument is coming from, you know, has nothing to do with people trying to get themselves back up. They just want one generator. They don't even know how to operate it. They can't use it. They can't afford it. But give me one. Give me one. The mentality of freeness is a symptom of a deeper issue. It is a legacy of patronage politics, perpetuated largely by the comrades. A lot of what you hear happening in Jamaica are comrades. It's the fight for scarce benefit and spoils. Because what the hurricane has opened up is spoils. Spoils. And the comrades aren't happy because they don't have their hands on the distributive logistics of the spoils. That's it. Has nothing to do with relief, nothing to do with character, integrity. It is pure, unadulterated, nasty politics. The PNP, sorry say, honor them in a power so that the supplies can go to them. That's what it is about, you know. And all of you, all that you are hearing, all the cas and the fuss that you are hearing in Jamaica, it don't have nothing to do with Mr. Holness. Mr. Holness is just a scapegoat in this. The real issue is that the PNP bad mind. A bad mind, you know. A bad mind cause all of this here. And the supporters of the PNP just feel sick. They now go get for them share. What a and then my feet get a beating, Lord. Them have to go get a beating. Then my feet get a beating. Go back up. Sitting in the morning. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Birds. When at first we tried to deceive. Oh, how sweet they sing, and oh, how much I wish that I could fly. And I tried. I said I tried. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Just myself. Shakespeare was correct. Deception. fight for scarce benefit and political spoils
And what
has created a hostile society in which we are perpetually at war. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. When first we practice to deceive,
naughty
a paltry thing and full of care, upon our backs to bind a load.
I try.
Were it not easier to go bare than thus to feel the galled goad?
I try. I really try.
Politics gets involved and the thing crash.
Myself.
Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loose upon the world. William Yeats.
I got to pick myself up and dust myself off myself, and I start all over. Sitting in the evening sun and watching the same birds passing by. Sitting and wondering and waiting for the time for me to fly. And I tried. I said I tried. Good Lord, I tried. I really tried. But I got to think of myself and dust myself off. Start all over again. I got to pick myself up over and over.
Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loose upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loose. And everywhere, the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. This has nothing to do with people. It is the fight. It is a fight for scarce benefits. Basket to care. Listen to me. You listen to me. Prime Minister Holness is fighting a battle he cannot win. Prime Minister Holness is fighting a battle he cannot win. He will not win it. This country, Jamaica, is polarized and deeply divided along tribal lines. The only way that he's going to succeed
Was a lonely night, a night like this, when I lay down on my bed.
is for the well-thinking people of Jamaica and the church to stand up with him. Because this is a battle against ignorance. It's a battle against ignorance. It's a fight. All that you see happening in Jamaica is that the comrades wanted to be in power. They see it as a missed opportunity to enrich themselves with all the supplies that are coming into the island. Nothing else. And this mentality of freeness is a symptom of a deeper issue, a legacy of the PNP. The PNP successfully created a legacy of dependency. And we have conditioned our people to expect others to provide for them rather than taking ownership of their own recovery. Responsibility, you see, is not a detachable burden that you shift to the shoulders of others. That's why in Jamaica, the lotto line so long. Cash pot. It's a cash pot society, you know. Because we want to put in very little and take out enough. That is what gambling is about. In society, I mean, they play a lotto in America too, but different type of lotto. Jamaica cash pot. We play a cash pot. And you know how much you buy cash pot for? $20, $50, $100. And they expect that you pay $100. A laziness that. And you sit down and you wait for the cash pot, man, to draw the cash pot. And you can make $500 or $1,000. The mentality of freeness is a symptom of a legacy coming from politics. It's a conditioning of people to sit down and wait for government to come provide for them. It don't have nothing to do with logistics. It's about character. It's about recognizing that every can of food, every bag of rice, every generator is a precious resource that can make a difference in someone's life. What you want the generator for? You have a business. You can afford to put gas in it. What you want it for? How you mean say generator come to Jamaica to give out to Jamaican people? Where that happen? You know how much we run one generator for one day? You can afford it. Can you afford a generator? Some of you, if you don't get the generator, it kill you no. Because you don't even know how to operate the generator. You take the generator, put it on the house, and carbon monoxide kill off you and no picking. The Prime Minister better be careful how he might distribute generator in Jamaica, you know, because we have debt. Because if you put the generator, it's to be 20 feet away from your house. Because if you take the generator and go start it in your house, in your bedroom, you're going to wake up dead. You're picking them. So what you want generator for? You can afford to buy gas to put in it? Huh? Belgium give us how much 100 generator to give out to Jamaican people. Where Jamaican people are going to do with it? We are hurting ourselves. We are hurting the country. We need to take a hard look at ourselves and ask, what kind of society do we want to be? Do we want to be defined by our ability or by our capacity, our ability to take, or our ability to give? We are a set of takers. Already, supplies are heading to Kingston. People are going from other parishes into Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth to get supplies to carry back up here so can sell. Do you know that is happening? That people are leaving from other parts of the island into the centers of distribution to collect supplies to carry back to other parts of the island to sell. Water and juice and sardine and corned beef. Now they're on the market in other parishes where people go down at St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, go take up their family, hoard it, and send it over here so I can sell for them. At that go on. And then they say, Holness, now do nothing. And some of them were asked for generator, they don't want it, they can't use it, but they still want it. We are a set of takers. We're not a set of givers or makers. We only want take. And this moment has proven to us what type of people we are. I've never seen it this bad. Never seen it this bad. Very concerned. It seems like there is a disconnect between the spirit of resilience and the community that has always defined us. This is not the Jamaica I grew up in. This is not the Jamaica I grew up in. The Jamaica that I grew up in, Nyentanso, where do my people have come from? When did we become a nation of entitlement people? We feel that somehow other people are to support us. This is not right. This is not right. Because at some point, the airplanes will stop flying in. As a matter of fact, them slow down already. At some point, the all-inclusive hotels will be reopened. And the cruise ship will not stop, will stop cooking food and give you go sit down on back, whatever, forever. Expecting people to cook and come caregiving every day and drop food to you. You think birds behave like that? The bird that lost its nest in the hurricane, you think that bird is sitting down waiting for helicopter to carry a nest back to it? You think the birds that their nests were blown down are sitting down and waiting on government? Who is the government for the birds? Then if birds can get up and go look trash to build a new nest, why you can't get up? Pick up the zinc, man. Pick up the board. Put up back something temporarily until you can get better. Get up, man. Get up. You know better than the bird. And if birds can be helping themselves, you sit down and depend on corned beef and rice. You clear the land yet? To start planting back? That is not what defined us. I was alive when Hurricane Gilbert blew, you know. And I saw how the community came together to help each other, clear up the place, pick up the dead animal them, chop out the tree them out of the road. We never saw any government agency come through my community. The people that did it themselves. Men pick up them machete and them cutlass and them hoe and them pickaxe and them barrow and went on the streets and clean up the place. Me never see one councillor, me never know about MP. It's the men of the community led the recovery. Right? And the women sweep up the streets. And Miss Matty house top will blow off. The community put it back on. And the basic school in my community where a couple sheet of zinc blow off. No MP name come in, they come put on back the roof. It's the men in the community put it back on so that the pitney them can go back to school. But alas, we have caused our people to feel as if to say, them a government picnic and government must come in and do everything for them. No, sir. And then we talk about Holness, Andrew, and some of you dep online up disrespect the man. Me say something make me not feeling so good, man. Every morning you wake up. Holness. Every morning you wake up, somebody have something dirty to say about the Prime Minister. No respect, no regard. You know, just a run up on the mouth. Some of you that even can't even. It's because when you call the Prime Minister name, when you looks up. Some of you ugly like a one. Right? We are seeing people taking more than they can manage. Mr. People are leaving from other parishes, going into St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland and a carry out back supplies. Come back into other parish, come and sell it. The people are hoarding the resources and expecting the government to come rescue them. Where zinc will blow over your house? Where they? Go look for it. It's your responsibility to pick yourself up, man. Me no see no government. It's like we have lost sight of the fact that a disaster response is a collective effort. It's not just about government handout. And Mr. Prime Minister, when you go back to Parliament, tell the people that. Don't make them feel as if to say, it is your responsibility to do everything for them. Tell them. And all them sit down and wait for now, say, how much money, they sit down and check how much money we are coming to the country. The comrades, all them sit down and do a check. How much you get from Cat Bond, how much you get from this country, how much you get from that the country. That's all them do. Sit down and check how much money the government is getting. See how much I hit them I go get. Not even recognizing that aid no mean cash. It's not cash, guys. This mentality of freeness is a symptom of a deeper issue. It's a legacy of patronage politics that creates a culture of dependency, and I blame it on the PNP. For you see what the leader him come out come say 50 million. Give each member of parliament 50 million. Painting in the minds of the people that we are awash with cash. We have been conditioned to expect others to provide for us, rather than taking ownership of our own recovery. Because it's not about logistics. It's about character. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when at first we try to deceive. It is deception. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. And all this is about who is in charge. Comrades are disappointed that their government is not in place so that they can preside over the distribution. That is what is happening in Jamaica. And I am warning that if we are not careful, we are going to come out of this bitterly divided over the spoils. And the spoils them a fight over. All of them you see the I run up them out is the spoils. Hurricane Melissa spoils. A hit a cause the fractiousness in Jamaica. We need to take a hard look at ourselves, man. I have one more issue to share with you. I'm going to get back to this. I see you know that some politicians are coming on social media. I beg money. Parliamentarians. See where we come to in Jamaica. See where we come to in Jamaica. That you have elected members of the legislature on social media soliciting hurricane relief funds. Because whilst it is understandable to want to help your constituents, there are risks and very serious implications to consider. And I want to ask my listeners, do you think that members of parliament should be on social media? I beg money. Do you think so? Do you think it is right for members of parliament to be on social media soliciting money? And who are you soliciting the money for? What is the system of accountability that is in place where if you send $10,000 go give an MP in cash, how do you account for that? Because I suspect that if you are a PNP MP, then you are going to look out for PNP people. And if you are a jail PMP, you're likely to look out for JLP people. Not only that, but the platform that you appear on is a partisan platform. So the listeners on the platform are aligned in a greater measure to the party that the MP supports. So a PNP contributors. No, you think that PNP supporters are giving money to give to JLP people? Answer that. It's not like you come on traditional media that is open to both sides. When you go on a PNP platform, go beg money. A PNP people will give you that money, you know. Now, the government of Jamaica has set up official channels of donations, and it is best to use these channels to ensure transparency and accountability. What is the role of the politician in this disaster? The lines are blurred, scratchy, and we have to be very careful what we are doing in Jamaica. How many relief agencies do we have? So we have now become a nation of beggars. We so broke that our MPs have to be going on here on social media. I beg money. And that we come to in Jamaica. We so broke that our MPs have to depend here from people's social media platform. I beg $5 and $10. Give us little money if you could help the people them. And that Jamaica come to. Right? Politicians have a role to play in coordinating relief efforts. But soliciting funds directly can put them in a difficult position. It is a matter of principle. Because they are public servants. They should maintain a level of detachment and let the official process work. You can't be a public servant. And you know the Integrity Commission may need to look at this. How are you going to be a public servant and you are out there soliciting funds in a time of crisis? When the government sets up official, why not direct? All right, let me tell you something. You know, the government could put on their platform, if you want to give to this constituency, press that. You want to give to this constituency, press that. And the funds come in through that channel. And it is used in that constituency. Because is there not a risk of unequal distribution of resources? If politicians are soliciting funds independently, it can create disparity in who gets help and who doesn't. And this can exacerbate existing social and economic inequalities. I think that we should focus on supporting the official relief efforts and let the government do its job. Donations should go through the official channels, and politicians should focus on coordinating and supporting these efforts rather than taking it upon themselves to be soliciting funds. We need transparency. We need accountability and fairness in disaster relief. And I don't think that this new thing of politicians coming up on people's platforms, come open up account to beg money, is correct. I think it devalues the country. It devalues the government. And I think it is wrong. I think it is fundamentally flawed for us to approach things like this. Because it's largely going to be, in my view, partisan. Because the platform is already partisan. The hosts are partisan. And they are interested in furthering their own political agenda. Politicians will always be politicians. Because if you want to know that politics is at play here, just watch what is happening. Performative representation. Performative representation. The government no broke. Yes? I don't understand it at all. Because I never seen it. Is election you campaigning for? There is a process that has been established. Use the process. My time is running out. My time is running out. Can I take a few of my listeners? Caroline? Who do I have? Jamrock, morning. Morning, Jamrock. DJ Romeo. Fast asleep. Come on, guys, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Tash 40.
Good morning. Hello.
Morning, morning.
Good morning. So I'm calling from Canada, and I'm a hairstylist, and I notice a lot of persons are coming in, and they have so much bad stuff to say about the Prime Minister. And a while, but based on what persons on social media are spreading around, there was this lady about a week ago, and she, trust me, the things that she said about the Prime Minister, I'm like, how can you hate someone that much when you're not even living in the country? She was like, I hate him, I hate his wife, I hate his kids. I said, are you a PMP? She's like, no. I said, do you think the PMP would do a better job? I don't know. So I said, who you think should run the country? God. I'm like, how is God supposed to run the country? So you have persons going around and they're hating the Prime Minister, and they don't even know why they hate the Prime Minister. If you ask them about things, oh, somebody on social media said this, somebody posts this, somebody, you know, it's all things that they short clips that they see. They don't have any facts. I said, do you follow his page? No. I don't need to follow his page. Why don't he make it public? Why don't he put it on the news? The feedback that you're getting from persons overseas, it is so bad, and those are persons who don't have any, they don't even have any knowledge of what is going on in the country.
Yes.
And the next thing that I noticed too is that the persons who are actually going through the situation, they are not the one that are making the problem. The persons who are in their warm bed, having food, having shelter, having light, having everything, those are the persons who are making the problem. The persons who are literally not going through the situation. I said to a guy last week, I said, you are warm, you are in a warm country, you have a warm bed. tomorrow, he's like, oh, it's true, it's true, it's true. So most times persons are talking, especially if a person living overseas, they just go on TikTok and they see a little clipping about the prime minister, and they don't even know even know where it's coming from, and they just say, oh yes, she was one lady was like, oh, he never even give Mark Golding one helicopter. Mark Golding have to go get one helicopter for himself. So I said to her, why can't he just get a helicopter for herself? Isn't everyone supposed to be uniting now and working together? She's like, no, he shouldn't give him one helicopter for himself. I'm like, lady, it's so bad. Because they don't have any facts. They just run off most time they run off of what clippings that they see persons.
You know, ma'am, it is not that they hate the prime minister, you know. Is that they love their party.
But she said she's not affiliated to no party, but she hates him, she hates his wife, she hates his kids, and she wishes to kill him. That's what she said.
They love their party. And that's it. They are tribalist. Well, tribalism in a negative sense. Because tribalism is not necessarily negative party now. That is what is happening. They care zero about she gone? She gone. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, neighbor.
Morning, hi.
I'm listening you, but I just want to say this, that no weapon that form against our prime minister shall prosper. God, remove him. You understand? So all the negative and all the disrespect that they are doing is just only for a matter of time. And when their judgment come, everybody is going to reap what they have sown and what they have been doing to our prime minister that is working so hard, so diligently, and they are trying to tear down this man. But as I said, no weapon formed against him shall prosper. Only one person can move that man from out where he is, and it's God Almighty, nobody else.
Well,
yes, neighbor.
I think you're right, ma'am. The prime minister.
Yes, he's been working endlessly.
Here in the country for the hurricane. Jamaican people need to wake up, man. They're falling asleep.
Yeah, some of them are not sleeping. They are wicked. They are wicked. They are seeing. They are wicked. They are not sleeping. They are seeing it. You understand? And you know who is doing it? They are doing it through politics. You understand? They are not dumb, and they are not blind, and they are not slow. They are seeing it. They are just wicked set of individuals.
All of them without their cost boat generator, ma'am. They don't even understand that if the prime minister did not manage the country to gain the respect of the international community, no generator wouldn't come down here.
Yes, they don't know that, and they don't know how some of them can't even afford to take care of themselves, much as to take care of generator. You understand? You know, generator is expensive. You know how much gas you have to buy to put in that thing. You know that thing is dangerous. You have it so near to you.
They don't want it to use for themselves, ma'am. They don't want it to use for themselves, ma'am. And money they want to make. They don't want no generator. What are you doing with a generator when you have light, ma'am? You can't. Generators are not things that that poor people can manage, you know, ma'am. Poor people can't run generator, you know, ma'am. Okay?
Yes, sir.
But you know, ma'am, listen to me. What is happening, you see, is nothing but politics, you know, ma'am. All politics. That the PNP would have preferred if them
yes
power and distribute the things. That's all that is happening.
That's all what I think that too. I think they're still in a campaign mood, neighbor.
Yeah, it's a fight for scarce benefits, man, and political spoils that has contributed to the hostility among the people. Yes. And this attitude of entitlement, where people feel say somehow they not get up off of them, but I'm gonna go walk. Government fight for them.
They like handouts.
Yes, ma'am, and it is something that we have to deal with because the hurricane has demonstrated that we do have a big problem in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. The free
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
Freeness.
sir.
All right, then, dear. Take care of yourself.
You too, sir.
Have a great day. Good
Yes,
morning.
neighbor.
Good morning, Matthew. Good morning, Matthew.
Morning, my mic wasn't opening. Good morning. Something and just fling it out there, make people get it. You gotta look out for who really need the generator and learn them how to set it up to get it to use. It's not a thing where you just get and give out to people just like that. You gotta look for the more critical people, them who need it. You understand? So when he come up and attack all them crap, man, I'm sorry I can't face him to deal with him the right and proper way.
Oh,
You
no,
know?
no, but you would want to do nothing. No, ma'am. You sir, you know, you don't have to be violent, man.
No, not violent, but tell him the truth, you know. Them people that need somebody to tell them the truth because
My
it's
sir,
like
my brother, a man that is deaf, you're wasting your time talking to him talking to his ears, you know.
well, that's true. That's true.
Ignorance is a form of deafness, you know. It's mental deafness. They're not going to listen. They have no interest in the facts. Because you see, the untruth appeals to their cognitive biases.
Right.
What we
Right.
are facing in Jamaica, you know, ma'am, no have nothing to do with what we are facing in Jamaica, you sir, is politics.
Right. Yeah.
It is
I know.
it is the division in the society.
Yes.
Did you not see, sir, that the recent elections, 400 and odd thousand people voted PNP?
Yes.
That's 400 and odd thousand people that do not want to see Mr. Holness be
In
prime
power.
minister.
Yeah.
You think they all of us, hold on, you think they all of a sudden have changed? No. They
No.
prefer to see Mark Golding prime minister. And no matter what you do, if you lay the street with gold, sir, they will not accept Holness. He's the
Right.
worst thing for them.
Right. Yeah, because you see, lot of these people too.
To be fair, the labor rights feel the same way about the comrades. There are
Right.
labor rights in Jamaica today, sir, that if Mark Golding had won the last election, they would have gone. They wouldn't stay here.
Right. Right.
So we have a society that is divided by politics. And let me tell you this, sir. Let me tell you this. This crisis has deepened the divide.
True.
The leadership of the PNP have not helped because they are giving their surrogates, their supporters, the impression that somehow things are being withheld from them. It is a fear. Let me break this down a little bit more for you.
Yeah, that's true.
The PNP, sir, are PNP, and the People's National Party are largely about themselves. Their thinking is what is giving them a problem now. Because if PNP was in power, PNP pot oil, labor rights suck salt through wooden spoon.
True.
Wholeness, sir, is a different type of leader.
Right.
He's a leader that caters to Jamaicans. The comrades don't believe it. They just feel say somehow labor rights pot I go get oil no, and feed them I go empty. And not no go so. See, Dr. Tufton went to Eastern Westmoreland go set up clinic. That's in a PNP bastion. The comrades feel that at a time like this, at the labor right, them go get the generator. And nothing no go so. That is because of the thing. You know, sir, thinking makes a man.
Right.
And the Bible is correct. So a man thinketh, so is he. So is the man, sir. It is the thinking. It's a fear that is embedded in the people that somehow partisan politics is going to be used in the distribution. That's it. And they are not the ones distributing the thing.
True.
That's it.
True. Yeah, I know about it because trust me, I was down there when Gilbert blow. It's after Gilbert, at about 2 years after Gilbert, I departed and come up here. So I know I used to run up and down, do all of them stuff there in election and stuff. So I know. Nothing say you love your party, yeah, you love, cause I love my party. But when you're just gonna come out and discriminate people like that, where you know not doing the stuff, you know, just to make people look on that person as a bad person, it's very terrible. It's very terrible, you know. So that's all they try to do is just come out and paint stuff what they feel is going wrong when it's not like that. They just want, they had a party look very bad. And I'm telling you, before they just get together and build the country, it would be a very, very nice country as how it is right now. And they would, you know, better off in life. But fighting against one another or fighting against one party, it's not going to make the place better. It's not going to. And no matter how you try to preach to them to be united and just, you know, live fairness, they don't understand that. Because enough of them is so, and I mean, I know enough of them don't read and write. And I understand that because those people more hard to understand when they know they can really read things to pick out the difference from what's going on, you know, but that not give them the right to be literate and come out and discriminate and cuss people as how they're doing it, you know. They gotta stand up and be a man in your country for the young.
We lost the caller. All right. You know, they did a little test with, and when morning come, you see they put some white crabs and some black crabs in a bucket. And when morning come, all the white crabs them gone. And all of the black crabs them still in the bucket. What make? The brown crab, and the white crab them put them in a 2 different bucket and then go to them bed. It's a test them do, a research. And when they wake up, all of the brown crab them gone. And the black crab them still in the bucket. You know why? I will not tell you. Figure it out for yourself. Lola? Hello?
Morning, neighbor, and everyone on the platform. Thanks for having me. I just It's a little time to sneak in. Neighbor, I would like to let the PMP knows
Uh-huh.
that the Prime Minister is the head of the country. He has his MPs work for him, and they should stop saying he should go out on the ground. Maybe if you have your business, say for example, you have your a company, why
Uh-huh.
you employ other people there?
Uh-huh.
Why would you employ other people, neighbor, if you have your company? Not to help you, right? Because you cannot do everything. You understand? You do the planning, and then you have a manager that work under you and other staff. Well, the prime minister is there to organize things, have his advisor. Why should he go out walking? I'm not saying he should not go and see what taking place, but he cannot go out and walk and hand out care packages. I don't see that. And why they hate Mr. Andrew Holness, even turn on his wife, his children, and his mother. That's so rude and distasteful. Why some Jamaica are so illiterate, neighbor?
Yeah. Well, you know, ma'am, they are calling it free speech. But you know, free speech, ma'am, don't mean that you need to be lie, you to tell lie and be disrespectful. It
It-
it and it reflects, you know, it reflects, you know, ma'am, a lot more about them than the prime minister.
Miss Neighbor, I am not in Jamaica. And when I hear people talk, and grateful Jamaican are. They think they are doing themselves good. No, they are not when they go on social media and behave like that. But it tells and it shows the home. Some people coming from home and some coming from house. House, no discipline. Home, you are well groomed.
Uh-huh.
And I think that is the problem. We have no self respect, no morals, nothing. And the way we speak about the prime minister, that's the way they talk to their parents. And it's a
No, ma'am.
shame.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's green, is orange brain, ma'am. You see, when your brain is orange, you can't think except orange, you know. That's part of the problem in Jamaica, you know, ma'am. We think with the color of our shirts. So if we are labor rights, we tend to think a particular way. And if we are comrades, Lord Jesus, then everything is political.
Yes, and they only want to
Most
hear
people
one
here,
thing and
ma'am,
run with it.
are not being rational. They are being political. And when you when you think political, then you can't see any good. So for example, ma'am, we get generators, and the prime minister is saying, okay, if you have a small business, we can loan you a generator to start up back your small business. My God, if you
It's
are a
not,
comrade, then worse, you can't see the good in that. You can't see that that is maybe a good idea. All you can think of, Belgium send the generator, get out to we. Madam, you know, I have experienced this firsthand, you know, ma'am. Firsthand. That when you create entitlement, you can't manage it. If you create entitlement in a society, you cannot manage it. That is why you must teach people to be responsible. You
that's
must
why they,
teach them, ma'am. And let me tell you
that
something. Hold on. When you buy your child a book and the picnic don't come home with the book from school, you know, buy him another one. You get the child to understand that you purchased a book yesterday. And if you are to give the child another book, shorten the lunch money. Take
True.
out $20 out of it and say, we are going to save to the book or we are going to talk. You don't do that because you're not
That
teaching responsibility. When you give your child dinner and the picnic flash it off at the table and you go down because you want KFC and you go to KFC, mom go buy chicken, come get the picnic. You are not teaching the child
all
responsibility.
right. That's what I was going to say. And neighbor, I have a question for you. Do you believe when you have a child and that child reach 18 or going to college, do you think that child should like do a weekend job or something and help contribute to bills in the house?
Absolutely, ma'am. And listen to me.
Very good, sir.
Some people, ma'am, don't even make up them bed. And when they come from school, their mother make up them bed and clean. You can't have a 15-year-old boy, mama, you are washing drawers. That is wrong. You're not
Neighbor,
teaching that child responsibility, ma'am.
neighbor,
And that
eh,
is how we grow the society. And then the society people come up in the society and they depend on others. That is why people have children, ma'am. They have children and they've no
neighbor,
business with it.
neighbor, I
Right?
have 7 children and the last one is 21 and I wake them from 5 o'clock every morning when I used to live in Jamaica and let them do their chores before they go to school. That time they used to cry and say, "Oh, I am very wicked." And I said to them, every patient in any hospital in Jamaica, when it touch 5 o'clock, they get up and do have their shower and sit on the veranda. And I am not running a hospital or a nursing home. So get up. Now you know what they look at me and say to me, "Mommy, thank you, because you prepare us for the world."
Ma'am, but
Dead.
finally, you see, ma'am, a lot of people who you see are on path in Jamaica better than me and you. A lot of people who are on path in Jamaica better than me and you, ma'am. Me see one lady come in the supermarket, come buy 1 case of tissue out of part money. How you buy 1 case of tissue? Well, I don't know.
Neighbor,
Maybe
me I
the
run
children
because me there
have
work. Me I
severe
run. Me can't
diarrhea.
stay no longer. Me I
Yes, ma'am.
run.
Protect
Me I
yourself.
work. Yes,
Maybe there
thanks.
is severe diarrhea in that household. You don't want to create dependency. People just sit down and wait for a path check every 2 weeks. No. Why is it that women who are collecting path can go to school at evening time, go sweep out the school room and go down to the library, right? Garbage there all over the town. Why we can't put them to work in NSWMA to help sweep up the streets at morning time, right? And wipe down decks in schools and hospitals. We look at hospitals, always want auxiliary workers. Why is it that the part money is free? Free for the blind man, and all blind man can work. Free for the people who cannot work. If you can work, you should work. You have strength to sit down and sex. Why you can't work? You have strength to go a road go look man. Why you can't work? Can't work like that. Morning caller. Well, it seems so. The caller seems to be on a break. We took a little too long to get to him, but I think he will come back up soon. All right. We're 22 after 10. If you can work, you must. Good morning, sir. Your Highness, morning. You know, the minister did
He needs to unmute.
an evaluation of the PATH program. And I don't know what the results of that program is, but we cannot continue to create a society of dependence. You cannot do that. Okay? And it begins with how we parent. You know, this idea that, oh, I had a hard life, so I don't want my picnic to come up and cause a hard life. That is contributing to the dependency. Picnic go in a supermarket and make 2 little cry, and you make him pick up when you want. It's entitlement. The child is learning that all he needs to do is to cry. And he gets what he wants. So he cry. You can't teach the picnic like that. You don't make up your picnic bed. Once him start, you make up your own bed. You wash your own clothes. Even if you have to wash it over mama. Begin to train children to be independent. That's how we create what is called an interdependent society. Okay? Morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, my friend from Canada. Hi, how are you? From St. Elizabeth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Well, I'm not doing too bad at all.
You know, I just want to contribute a little to the conversation that was going on earlier on about the parties in Jamaica, the colors, the orange and the green.
Yes.
But I just want us to divert a little from Jamaica and look in other parts of the world where we do have the same sentiments and the same issues that we do have in our island home. Let's move to the United Kingdom. We have the Conservative Party and we have the Labour Party in Britain. In the United States, we have the Republican Party and we have the Democratic Party.
Yes.
And in Canada here, we have the Conservative Party and we have the Liberal Party, of which I am a part of. What am I saying? Each of these parties have their own set of people, they have their own set of rulings, and they have their own set of visions. Let's roll back to Jamaica. Jamaica has the Jamaica Labour Party under the leadership of my Prime Minister, the Honorable Andrew Michael Holness.
Yes.
And under the opposition, Mark Golden.
Jefferson Golden.
Jefferson Golden, sir. I stand corrected.
Marky G.
There we go. What am I trying to say? If Marky G was in power, Marky G would do what the People's National Party would have always done, and that is to fail the Jamaican people. Andrew Holness is in power, and he is doing what the Jamaica Labour Party would have always done, and that is to help the Jamaican people. We have seen where Jamaica have been devastated again by this catastrophic hurricane. I do not expect my noble Prime Minister to be out in the field distributing or handing out a constituents or constituency. And every constituency has a MP. Every MP in those parishes have councillors, and every councillor have their grown support. So look at the structure. We have the Prime Minister, we have his MPs, we have his councillors, we have their mayors, and we have the ground support. Why are we constantly saying that Andrew should do this, Andrew should do that, Andrew should do this? It should be the delegates, the elected officials should work hand in hand with the Prime Minister. That's what, that's the consensus.
Him a little bit. That's because the people don't have nothing about them, ma'am. Sir, he's back. He's back.
That's the consensus that we need to have, where we look at the government working in partnership with each other and helping the people of Jamaica who have been devastated, whose lives have been changed, whose situation have been transformed, rather than tearing down what the people of Jamaica had voted for a few months ago.
Yes.
My point this morning is let us stand with the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Let us stand with all the leaders who have been voted in to help their constituency, and let us continue to build Jamaica better than before. I hope we all can come to that consensus that it is one Jamaica, it's one Jamaica land we love, and it's one Jamaica that will be there for our children and our grandchildren to embody that resiliency, that strength, that courage, and that fight that we have always been doing for Jamaica and building Jamaica, so that people who are abroad, whether in Canada, whether in the United States, whether in the United Kingdom, can always look to Jamaica as a fine destination to go and spend their money and advance our local economy. That's all I'll say. I'm going back to class.
All right. Catch you later.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mr. Neighbor.
All
Mr.
right.
Neighbor.
Johnny, be good. What is it? Good morning.
Yeah, well, no. You said something a while ago, me have to agree with you, you know. You know, so when me I go up, I'm going to wash my clothes, and you know, wash good. You know, so my mother take out the clothes off her line and drop it in the dirt and have me for wash it back again.
Oh?
Yeah, man, she take out my clothes off her line if you don't wash clean, my khaki uniform, drop it in the dirt, and tell me, say, this not wash yet, and me have to wash it again. Every Saturday, me have to sweep, make sure I sweep the yard 2 times a week. Saturday and thing was Tuesday.
Yes, sir, because responsibility is something that you have to learn.
Yeah, man.
You don't born into the world being responsible in that. Responsibility is something that you have to learn. You have to teach it to you.
Morning, yeah, man. So me left school. When me left school, now a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I forget how she get me at work same time down a parade. Me have to sweep the me have to sweep out the park.
Yeah.
Me have to sweep the park down a town, down a parade there. Then 3 days a week I go to work as a youth. I left school. And then I go learn mechanic.
Yes, sir.
Come never like that. So I go learn mechanic. And that's my 2 cents for your argument when you say a while ago. My experience.
You think that there are some people, hold on, sir. You think there are some people in Jamaica today, they lose their roof, you know, so they put it back on already?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I hear some people still on wait. See, some people still, I come to Jamaica last year.
Oh.
We did Jamaica last year for 1 year. And the youth then up on the corner, I glad me there fine and know say Andrew Holness. No, Andrew, I'm not gonna say Andrew Holness. The government of Jamaica was giving out art program. You get go do go the art. And me I tell the man them from the ends. And the man will tell me say I lie, me I tell.
Look at that.
I lie, me don't know nothing with that fire, no for that fire and I know what I go on. Then I tell them, man, do you go check when you go check it out, I just say that's true. That's true, but him still not go. He want the pan corner roll up spliff.
Well,
roll up spliff, nah man.
No, sir. The recovery is a national effort, sir. It's not a government effort. It's a national effort. Okay?
Yes, that's true.
Communities have to come together, sir, and help each other put back their communities together. So, you see the grocery shop where blow down, build it back. Build it back. So that you can get to the grocery. Build it back. And the church roof will blow off, put on back the church roof so you can bury on your head and christen your baby and go praise the Lord. Put it on back, man.
So, but you know go to church go bury dead again. No, dance no keep when I bury dead. You know. 2 final I go to Jamaica last year, I dance no keep. You know.
Yes, sir. Listen to me.
Dance to see if you learn keep. You know.
You know, I was telling you
not even they get reverence anymore. You know.
When Hurricane Gilbert blow in my community, sir, 1988, I never seen no government come in there. And the road blow up. People get up and put back their community together.
That's true. I never see that.
Take care of yourself.
People, yeah, man. Same to you. Blessing.
Mr. Neighbor, good morning to you.
Minister.
Yeah, man. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes. My contribution to the debate that you're having is as follow. When we look in our country and we see the disaster that would have come through Jamaica and all that is happening here in our country, I feel that persons are talking out of terms and really in the way that they're not talking like Jamaica, but they're talking along party lines, and that's where the entire thing will be derailed, and persons that truly needs and should get the help will not get the help. And too many times you have seen children that ought to be focused, something come and distract them, and you're seeing the same pattern in our country these days, where we are distracted. When we are to be united, then we get distracted by party and other things. What the country should be focused on is coming together and building back Jamaica, building not only St. Elizabeth, but Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney, St. James, and the other affected areas here in our country. It should not just be one area and one segment alone, and then you have other people crying that they're not getting help and so forth. These things should not be party line. We cannot be so divided that we're talking about one party do this and one party don't do that. All these leaders should be able to find common ground in disasters like this to repair Jamaica, to build Jamaica, to bring Jamaica to a stage where we don't go back to board houses, but we go to houses that can be able to withstand future disasters that will be coming in our country. In Westmoreland, for example, they had to build board houses because the lands are not owned by the people that live there. And so when you lease somebody land, they don't build concrete house. You have to build board house that can be dismantled and removed after the lease is up. And so what is happening now, the government of the day should be able to work out a plan where more sustainable house can be built for the type of country that we live in that is prone to hurricanes and disasters like these. So this is what we want to hear about. I'm not here to knock a particular political party or a particular government and praising a prime minister, praising an opposition leader. What I'm calling for is unity and to find common ground and to put the Jamaican people at the forefront, not a political party or a particular, person, but we should be looking to put our Jamaican brothers and sisters that truly are in distress now, because nobody in St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, and the other affected parishes, they're not thinking about JLP right now. They're not thinking about PNP right now. They're thinking about a roof over their head, something to eat, their children, or somebody that died for them. And so it is wrong for us to be talking about politics and political party in these distressing times like these. That's my humble opinion.
All right, sir. Part of the challenge here, you see, is that the people do not understand diversity and that you can have unity irrespective of diversity. You do not unite and lose your diverse views. In other words, at the end of the day, you can remain a comrade and you can even vote comrade. But we have to understand the moment. You have to read the room and recognize that at a time when people are suffering, sir, politics needs to take a seat. Okay? And that is the fear here, is that somehow, if we unite, it will redound to our defeat. In other words, the PNP feels that if they should join hands with the government, their political stock will fall and the governments will rise. But the moment, sir, the moment is important. And this is a moment that calls for that which you have asked for. I agree with you, sir. Unity. Unity, sir.
Absolutely.
I'm not
Absolutely.
I am
Absolutely.
I am not optimistic, sir. Based on what
Absolutely.
they have, I am
Well,
not optimistic. But let me tell you what needs to happen in Jamaica, sir. The government must lead, and it must be decisive, and it must lead. It was elected to lead. Mr. Holness, lead, sir. Do not be distracted. Put on your blinders and be focused not only on the relief, but on ensuring that Jamaica collectively recovers and get back to growing. You know, sir, there are hundreds of students today that are out of school. We have to get them back in school. There are many people out of work, sir. We have to get them back to work. There's a lot that the Prime Minister is doing. Don't spend no time thinking about generators. You've made a decision that you're going to loan the generator. Next matter. Next matter. That matter done. Loans, they're going to be loaned. You could chat all you want. Next matter. We've got too many things to focus on here, sir, to be spending time talking about generators. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, Os, and I wish for you and your show all the best.
Thank you too. Done it. Done it. Done it. Listen. It's a distraction. We can't talk about that now.
Donette, please unmute your mic.
Move on to something else. That's a distraction. Them people we are talking about generator, them can't even operate one. They can't even use it. If you give them the generator, no mind you pick up them body next morning in the house, them start the generator in them yard, in their house, and it knock them out. They can't even done it. Let's focus on some other things now. By the way, the people turned up at the toll this morning, said they were surprised that they have to now be paid. I don't understand. The government is saying that the toll authorities are charging as of this morning. Do we have a call? Yes. It's generator them a look for sell. Them not even want the generator themselves because they can't operate it, they can't use it, they cannot afford to operate it. So what are they doing with the generator? And a lot of the people who are asking for the generator, they don't even live in where the generator is needed. I raised the whole matter of the MPs coming online begging money and how inappropriate I find that. What's your view on that? No more callers, Caroline. Then we can probably we can maybe push up to 11. Yes.
No, at the moment. Not at the moment, neighbor.
Okay. All right, so let's see if we can do this and get back to talking about something else. Morning, Scratchy. Morning, Scratch.
Good morning, neighbor. Good morning, neighbor. Good morning, Caroline and the viewers.
Scratchy. Legislators, are lawmakers. Scratchy. Part
Yes.
of government. Why are you supporting ministers? You're a minister of government. You're a member of parliament, and you are supporting that person going on a partisan live to go solicit funds, go beg money for hurricane relief, sir. How you manage that?
I mean, neighbor, you said you had something to it. You said partisan line. I didn't hear that part early on. But I mean, neighbor, in a time of crisis, I understand certain things.
If you have a PNP platform that is known to be a negative basher of the government, it is obvious that those listeners are comrades, are supporters of the PNP, or the great majority of them. And in a time of disaster, well, you're gonna take a call and come back.
No, that's okay. You can go ahead. No, it's okay, neighbor.
A time of disaster, that Scratchy, where the government has organized and coordinated disaster relief and also giving. Why is it that MPs are to find it, to go on these platforms asking people to give them money to carry going to their constituency? How we know that the money will get there?
Well, for me, neighbor, if it is done on a partisan basis, I am not in support of it. If an MP is asking for donation based on a partisan basis, I am definitely not in support of it, neighbor. But on a national issue like what we have going on in this right now, neighbor, I think I don't say anything wrong if I am member of parliament in his or her own unique way, neighbor, as the member of parliament who have direct responsibility, neighbor, for these persons, neighbor. I don't see any way, shape, or form that I don't see nothing wrong if that member of parliament
the MP does not have direct responsibility. The MP represents the interests of the constituents to the government of Jamaica. It is the government of Jamaica that is responsible. The MP is a proxy.
Yes, neighbor, within the government, and the government doesn't have the luxury, neighbor. The government doesn't have the luxury, neighbor, of being more affectionate to one constituency than the other. The government have to remain balanced. I as a member of parliament have that luxury, neighbor, to care about only the set of people who I represent, who from my constituency.
And those people that the member of parliament represents, Scratchy, are Jamaicans. They are neither PNP or JP, because in every constituency in Jamaica, including Western Kingston, where you are from, there are persons there that support the other side.
That's why I said I am not in support if it is done on a partisan basis, neighbor. But if it's done on a general basis, like in a situation like this, where, neighbor, you know that we both talk about this on this platform, that the government won't be able to fix everybody else in these constituencies, neighbor. So if I, as a member of parliament, can look into my own self and use my own leadership skills and unique ways to garner more funding that can come in and help more persons who the government won't be able to help. The government made it clear themselves they won't be able to help everyone. Everybody, neighbors, remember, as a member of parliament, you are the one who go into these constituencies, you are the persons who these people see every day, you are the ones who are being tormented, But if it is done on a partisan basis, I don't support it. But if it is done on a general basis, like in this situation, neighbor, I don't see nothing wrong with it, neighbor. Politicians are the biggest beggars. We beg to become politicians, and they're gonna always beg. They're the biggest beggars. Nobody can beg more than a politician. Neighbor, I'm gonna tell you this too. If it was Anne-Marie Vaz in one of those constituencies down there, neighbor, that was mostly affected on the Western Belt, I guarantee you, neighbor, that things would be done already. And most of it would be coming from her personal way of gaining her personal funding. So, neighbor, as long as it is done within the law, I don't have an issue with it. And I think once a member of parliament...
Members of parliament, Scratchy, I and you know that the ability of one to mobilize resources for their constituency is a positive. I know that because you have friends, you have businesses, Members of parliament do this from time to time. They have contractors, they have other persons that they can ask for resources. I'm speaking about when you come on a live show that is defined and known to be partisan. Come asking for money from your supporters. Well, I don't know. I find it to be as a legislator, sir, as a member of parliament, I find it to be a little distasteful. I must tell you the truth.
I understand from where you're coming from, neighbor, but I am just putting it totally to match this current situation that we are in, neighbor. That is why I am totally understanding towards it because of this situation.
You can mobilize resources without appearing so desperate, right? I think it tracks from
but neighbor, to be fair, neighbor, the situation is desperate. It's a desperation situation.
And the government is responding to the people's needs, Scratchy. As a matter of fact, I will have you know that there are more resources now available for these people initially than they can even handle.
Yes, neighbor, but neighbor, you have just said a while ago, neighbor, that it is not government alone. You just said it's not. You just said government alone cannot do it, neighbor. Government alone cannot do it, neighbor. We thought that on this program, the government won't be able to fix every single roof for everybody. 130,000 roof gone down there, neighbor. Government won't be able to fix 130,000 roof.
All right. So every MP can set up a GoFundMe account to help their constituents. Every MP.
I think member of parliaments can do that, neighbor, with the help of the constituents and other persons from their surrounding who want to help. And then, neighbor, I think with a GoFundMe account, I think it should be the Integrity Commission and those persons now, neighbor, should do a thorough investigation to make sure that whatever was come through bank statements and everything, the funds were done in the manner that it was asked for. I strongly believe that it should be done and a proper investigation be done after it. A report be made to the relevant authorities after. But I strongly believe, neighbor, that these members of parliament need to get up off them.
When you put $10,000 in an MP hand, how you account for it?
Well, neighbor, one of the good things is that when you put $10 million in an MP and in this situation, neighbor.
Not from the government, you know. When you take 10 million, say you give an MP is able to come on this program and raise $10,000 and you transfer it to the MP. Who get that money? How you know it?
It is now up to the Integrity Commission now, neighbor, to track that funding and see how best that funding is done.
Neighbor, that is foolishness. Sorry to say, neighbor, sorry to butt in like that, but that is very, very foolishness that they are saying they will collect from the person who need the thing. When you give an MP that money, say $10 million, maybe if the hearer get 2 million out of it, that is totally stupidness.
Every member of parliament is different, neighbor.
Member of parliament, I saw them say. Because
bro, you talk about your member of parliament, bro. You can't tell me about my member of parliament. So you talk about your member of parliament. You don't tell me about my member of parliament.
When then
you just come and butt in. I'm finished.
Yeah, all right.
Neighbor, every member of parliament is different. We can't come on the platform and say everybody are this and everybody are that. Everyone is different. Neighbor, I know a member of parliament who the 20 million or the 30 million with the government give them for the year for run the constituency. They make things there's more than that out of them personal resources.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. But what I find amazing, Scratch, is that I don't see government MPs doing this. Why? Government MPs don't have needs in their constituency.
Yes, neighbor. Government MPs do have needs in their constituency, neighbor. But the reason why you don't see government MP do it
not coming on lives to beg money.
Huh?
Why are the government MPs not coming on lives to beg money?
Because when you're a government minister, neighbor, you are more scrutinized than a regular member of parliament.
There are three constituencies in St. Elizabeth that are represented by JLP representatives. Three.
Yes, 3 of them.
Were those constituencies affected badly?
Very badly. Badly.
Green and Franklin Witter and the former principal doing this? What is happening?
No, they don't come on and do it. because they are they're a government member of parliament and ministers with ministerial position, neighbor, and their scrutiny is totally different.
One of them are not. One is a junior minister.
Yes, for them, their scrutiny is totally different. And if you can see, neighbor, Floyd Green have him own way, neighbor, of gaining him own personal resources. He might not come on a public platform and ask for funding publicly, but Floyd Green is gaining personal resources differently down here in constituency.
And I accept that. And I know that MPs, sir, depend on private sector and donors to help them in their constituency. What I am questioning is...
So, neighbor, let's ask a question then, neighbor. To get to a member of parliament coming in to become a member of parliament, he beg down the whole place to get funding to become the member of parliament.
I know.
No, when he become the member of parliament, are we now saying that the begging done?
No, no. Understand my point, Scratch. I am not saying that MPs are not to mobilize resources.
Oh, you have a problem with the life that the person went on?
I am saying, sir, that when you see, we have to be careful of the precedent that we are setting, because if it's right for one, it must be right for all. Right? And I feel that we can set up something that people can give to each constituency. Let's say you want to contribute to Central Manchester, then you can.
Yes.
But when you have 63 members of parliament coming out on live programs, begging money, sir, this can't look good for Jamaica, sir. Because the politician, what is their role in the relief process? Because soliciting funds, Scratchy, puts them in a difficult position. Because it is a matter of principle. As you and I have discussed, the politician do not get cash. It is the cash, sir. The politician don't get no cash. They refer people to the different agencies. All right? The 3 or the 5 or the $10 million that the government is giving, that don't go to the politician. But it appears as if these politicians want cash. And when cash gets involved, Scratchy, that can be problematic.
Well, yes, neighbor, I agree. All I know it go, neighbor, in my constituency, for example, all I know it go is I know my member of parliament. Of course, he do things to garner funding. We're going to a tragedy, neighbor, and he garner funding. But all the funding was garner was whatever the politician garner, neighbor, the member of parliament might have garner. I don't know if him gain it through cash or how, but whatever is being pushed out back to the citizens, don't go back out in cash. You might have a hardware in the community where you might hear that each person can go down to that hardware and get 25,000 worth of goods. And you go down there and get the 25,000 worth of goods. But as to the means and the method of the member of parliament get the money, if it directly through cash, I don't have a problem here. But I'm saying here,
the member of parliament no set up an independent committee in his constituency and let that committee handle this type of thing, Scratchy. MPs can't be involved in begging money.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes, neighbor. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go.
Yes.
But neighbor, but despite that, is a member of parliament still have control over the cash?
But at least, sir, you will have an accountability process and a process of transparency. That means the comrades or the laborites alone.
But neighbor, that's exactly what I just said. As long as it is done in the remit of the law and the attorney general and whoever can ask back for the necessary bank trail to see yes, with that this one went directly to what it did to. So neighbor, if I am a private citizen here living in Canada and something happening in West Kingston, and I say to myself, I have $5 million that I want to donate to my constituency, to my member of parliament, I can't do it?
Well, I suspect nothing prevents you. You know, Scratchy. You know, Scratchy.
So my member of parliament cannot accept that $5 million cash from me?
I don't think that is something that we should have some legislation against these things. I think funding should not be coming to members of parliament, sir. Members of parliament get over $1 million to them salary every month.
Neighbor, legislation are in place, but the legislation tell you that the Attorney General and the Integrity Commission, neighbor, must be able to can ask for these documents and scrutinize whatever the member of parliament get.
Yes, sir. The parliament is a place that you go to speak up on behalf of your people. You represent them in parliament, sir. You are a member of the legislature. You're not a beggar. The government of Jamaica, sir, is responsible to aid its people in their recovery. Members of parliament can coordinate things from their level. But sir, set up a committee, church leaders, business people, and say this is a central Manchester or northern whatever, and you can give to this fund, and it.
So the member of parliament who was asking for the funds, neighbor, who was soliciting the funds. What means and ways did member of parliament show to for persons to donate?
I don't know.
Personally?
Somebody just tell me that MPs depend era.
And that no, neighbor, we have to know. We have to know what are the means that these member of parliament are used to the funds. Are they telling that they must come to the constituency office, come drop it off? Do they give an account and say they must donate it to this account? What are the ways? How it go about?
Yeah.
Neighbor,
Well, I hear one man say they want money to put it in the MP pocket, and the MP say it's not going to fit him pocket. You understand me? But that's what I heard, that they want to put money in the MP pocket. You know, the MP had to say, well, I not going on. And you know, sir, you expose yourself to. I think MPs are exposing themselves to a lot of criticism, you know.
That's why it is so easy, neighbor, for persons to say politician a thief, neighbor. Because politicians expose themselves a lot. But for me, neighbor, in our normal circumstances, normally, I wouldn't support it, neighbor. But based on the specific design and what is going on right now and the crisis that we are currently facing right now, for this current situation, I would support that the member of parliament being given some form of leverage with something set up in place where they can get some form of funding from private sectors or whosoever, neighbor. Because the Prime Minister and the whole always say it is going to take a collective effort. Government alone cannot fix it. One member of parliament upon one part of him constituency, a 2,000 roof gone. I don't know to what extent the government can go down there and fix back those 2,000 roofs. There are business places in the constituencies. There are private citizens in the constituencies. If they can come neighbor and find for them own unique way through them member of parliament and create some form of funding and fix more houses, I don't see nothing wrong with that in a time like this.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing wrong.
Scratchy. There is no question. There is no question that the buying of, this patronage-based politics that we practice is alive in Jamaica, because, anyway, hold on there for me. Young man, come in, sir. Rodriguez?
I'm just listening. I'm just listening. Me soon come back because me soon come on. Me the work. Me soon come on. Give me a minute.
Oh, you did.
Neighbor, I understand what you're saying, neighbor, with this patronage in politics, I understand what you're saying. And it has brought us to a level now, neighbor, where we see what we're seeing, what we're currently seeing right now along these places. Yes, a lot of us are saying that government not supposed to fix back the people roof, and government not supposed to do that. Of course, I support that to an extent. And
that is not entirely true, Scratch.
That's why I said to an extent. That's why I said to an extent.
We'll have to step in.
That's why I said to an extent, neighbor. That's why I said to an extent, because in a time like disaster, neighbor, it is government who have to come in, neighbor, and shoulder certain things and build back people and give back people a strength. No,
yes.
It is up to the government, neighbor. If the government don't want to fix it back, if the government want to make sure that, all right, then we don't fix it back, you have a high level of people living away in the country. We're going to go back to the high rate of unemployment. So government assistance is definitely needed, but to what extent? And we have to ask ourselves again, neighbor, what are the financial means, what are the financial buckets of these persons who can fix back them own roof? All of them things that we have to take in consideration. There's a lot of things we have to take in consideration, neighbor. You see, Jamaica, neighbor, how we see our politics, how we go forward with our politics, and a lot of things is our whole way back. A lot of stuff. See, person sit down the neighbor, don't want to look to the roof because people are waiting on the handout. Person tell themselves, I'm going to spend my own personal money and then government come around. And that's why a lot of people now fix back them place all now, And it shouldn't be like that. If you can't fix your place, you're supposed to fix it.
Yes.
But a lot of things have to change.
You're right, Scratchy. The whole matter of dependency, Scratchy. The fact is that we really have to, sir, before Melissa, we hardly had anything to talk about. And now we are beginning to see the mammoth of social ills in our society, Scratchy. Scratchy, we have fundamental problems here. Look, for example, at local government. What is the role of the councillors in these relief efforts, Scratchy? Councillors have divisions. Why can't a councillor in a division, yes, be in charge of this division, and another councillor in charge of that division, and we break it up, Scratchy? What is the municipalities and the parish council? What the hell they are doing now? Because this seems it's for central government.
Exactly, neighbor. I based on what I'm seeing, neighbor, it is central government. We understand, yes, it is a major disaster and central government have to take control, but from a municipal level, neighbor, these guys don't have nothing to offer, neighbor, to what is going on. These guys don't have nothing, just a shame and embarrassment to know that, neighbor. It is a shame and embarrassment to know that our local authorities, neighbor, they don't have no form of emergency plan that look like. They don't have anything in place neither for anything. And this is what I'm telling neighbor, say a lot of our social ills and social problem, neighbor, we are feel from a local government standpoint, neighbor, from a local government perspective, neighbor, that is where Jamaica is failing. Community levels, where local government supposed to have a hangover, that is where we are failing. A lot of these councils, neighbor, I'm starting to think, neighbor, from the other day, I create a list of a group of organization and entities that I think the country can do without, neighbor. I think these persons cost us more financially. I will not get the productivity out of them based on the amount of money where we are spending on these entities, NGOs, and organizations. Some of them need to go. Trust me.
Yes, because Scratchy, if central government, you know, Scratchy, central government should be able to send the supplies to the municipalities, and the municipalities manage the supplies or the relief effort from that perspective through their councillors. And then when you look at the local government structures, Scratchy, you have the CDCs, you have SDC, you have the DACs.
Community-based organization, CBOs.
Right. And these have
benevolent societies.
Yeah, the benevolent
societies, churches.
The clubs, the churches, sir. Right? So if I have a church in a community and the church have 100, we must know where all people are, so then you have this chaotic thing.
And that is my biggest concern, neighbor. The local authority, neighbor, and what local authority can and cannot do, neighbor. Local authority is just a, I don't see, it's like a place value, neighbor. I don't see the reason for this thing, neighbor. I am getting very annoyed of it. I am starting to say that it is clear as day, neighbor, that it looks like Jamaica can prosper without having any form of local authority and a local government.
You know, if I was a councillor, Scratchy, by now, I should be able to do an analysis of my area, how much people is affected, more when we gone, how many roof, what are the greatest need, you know, to feed that information into my MP, and my MP feed it up to the minister. That's so the thing to work.
Exactly. It should be a chain of command that will follow, neighbor. From the councillor, the councillors are the one who are at the direct community level, neighbor. These are the neighbor. What do you think one of the laws? There's no law that says a member of parliament must live in the constituency, you know, neighbor.
Right.
But the law tells us that the council must live in the division or the constituency.
Oh.
The law tells us that the councillor, neighbor, must live in the division or the constituency.
Yes.
But the law tells us that the member of parliament must live there. So that's simply telling the neighbor that the councillor is the gap between the people and the government agencies and states.
Damn right, sir. The councillor by now should be able to tell you how much house in a division get destroyed, where Miss Matty dead, how much people dead. Yes.
Exactly.
Bury, how much cow, puss, dog can't find, how much.
Because you live here. You live here. But the law tell you say you're supposed to live here. So you know everything that goes on here.
Yes. And that information should be available on the councillor laptop or on the computer, right? And in meet with the member of parliament. By now we should have all of this information and how the relief is to be coordinated, who get what, who not forget what, when them forget it, because you must have a priority list. We need generators here. We need how much tent. Here is how much people we need to feed. That is the role of a councillor, I think.
But guess what the problem, the neighbor? We have councillors, neighbor, and these persons who we select and vote as councillors, neighbor, based on how important this job is of being a councillor and the time that it take up, neighbor. A lot of these persons, neighbor, councillor is their second job.
Yes.
It is not their main job, neighbor. These guys have other jobs that they are doing, neighbor, and I think that is total madness. The moment you're an elected member, councillor, you're supposed to be a councillor. No, boy, you're going in a company, boy, you're going to run up there, so go make other people run that. Based on the importance of this job, you're supposed to be, your sole responsibility must be to this job.
Especially with the improved salaries.
With the improved salaries gone to $4 or $5 million a year now, and you tell me, said, person have used council as passive income, person have used the council role as passive income, person have used council role as second-hand job, as a little catch-up, and you have people live and lives at risk. Come on, man.
Because, to be true and fair, we see members of parliament. We don't see no councillor.
We don't see the neighbor because them have second job. Them have second job, neighbor. Some of them lock up in some building right now at the work. Can't come out. And you're a councillor.
My brother,
have second and third job.
The councillor should have been the man where you sit in a water boot and in raincoat. Me hear people are talking about how the Prime Minister must go put on water boot. Eh? The Prime Minister must put on water boot and raincoat, go rescue people. Yeah? And you have councillors. Some of them here, in their foreign.
Yeah, councillors live out of foreign, neighbor. Councillors, them weak. Some weak councillors we have a Jamaican neighbor. Them not understand the rule, not understand them job description. Them don't know what they are supposed to do. These guys are weak and last. And a lot of these people, neighbor, you know what, next thing I want to point out here, neighbor, a lot of these persons in the neighbor, who you see a create argument about the government response and a problem with generators and who not get food. Neighbor, I want you to look at it. A lot of these persons, neighbor, they live outside the disaster areas, you know. These persons live outside of the disaster areas and them have the most argument and the most talk about what is not being done right, you know. And they don't live nowhere near the disaster area. Some of them live overseas, neighbor. And them have a problem with everything that the government is doing. But I'm just show you how them confused, neighbor, because some of them are saying that them blame the Prime Minister for everything and then hear them in a one lower birth now. Daryl Voss are going good. Daryl Voss are the big man. Daryl Voss was put in that position by the Prime Minister, stupid people. Daryl Voss was given that role by the Prime Minister. Daryl Voss is representing the Prime Minister. So if you're gonna say the Prime Minister now do nothing but Daryl Voss do good, Daryl Voss is doing good as a result of the Prime Minister. Only too stupid and too fool. You need to have better sense than that, people. You can't, because the Prime Minister say no, do nothing, and you're gonna say Daryl Voss do good. And Daryl Voss is working on behalf of us as the people and the rule of the Prime Minister give. Come on, man, and fix up on yourself, man.
Casey?
Hey, neighbor, what's up? Scratchy Wagwan.
Bless up in my bro.
Why? At it again, neighbor, at it again.
You're in all Harbor, sir?
No, I mean, I'm may reach all Harbor today. I may give you a link.
All right, if you're coming. All right?
Yeah. Yes.
So there are problems. By the way, Casey, tell me your views on MPs. All right, listen. All right, let me hear what you have to say. Go ahead.
Yes, neighbor. I'm here to remind the country again because some people are on edge and some people are being demotivated by the negative comments and the negative posts. We went through the pandemic in 2020 and we came out stronger. A lot of people didn't know what to expect, including the government, I must say. A lot of people panic early on. These things are what make us, neighbor. We all have to face our trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
This is God's work. God testing our strength. And we must be strong and pull through this. So the politicians will be the politicians. The politician without conscience will be the politicians without conscience. People will try to get political mileage off this if they can. The content creators who crave for popularity will find out the easiest way to get popularity. At the end of the day, it won't work out for them because they don't build their content and their platform of substance. They're waiting on things like this or stir up controversy to build content. That's not going to help. As for the opposition, a party, don't use pandemics and catastrophe to gain political mileage. When people mind are settled, the well-thinking people will not choose you. That's where you're falling short.
Wow. When the minds are set. All right.
I hear Scotty touch on local government a bit.
Yes.
Our councillors, some of them, not all of our councillors, you have some good councillors across the length and breadth of this country, neighbor. You have some councillors where on both sides, them hold the fort. Them the people see. But 70% of them are in divisions that everybody know how those divisions will go. And not even live in Jamaica, as Scotty said. You don't see them. And the other day we were having a conversation, sometime earlier this year, about the role of the MP. And a lot of what people are expecting member of parliament to do, it's really the councillor job.
Yes, and don't some MPs suffer politically because of inept councillors?
Yes, all the time. All the time. All the time. And the member of parliament, again, sometimes dig their own hole in their campaigning, because when they are campaigning, they are promised.
Yes.
So, just like you look a girl neighbor, you pretend like you have money and you go buy a house and car, but you know you don't have that money there. You know you don't have that power.
You just want
these
MPs
are promising things that's not in their jurisdiction, and when they become member of parliament, that's when they are seeking to explain that I'm not time and they must stop it. Yeah. Sometimes we should not help them out.
Yes, as Casey, the something is starting up in Jamaica where members of parliament, members of the legislature are appearing on lives soliciting funds. Do you find that to be something that we should promote?
No, no neighbor. No neighbor. Again, these people who do these things know what they're doing. And any member of parliament on any side of the political aisle that do that is trying to send a message, a low-key message that the government is not doing enough or not providing enough funding for them to do their work. So again, it comes back to trying to gain political capital.
But what about Scratch's point that the government is not able to do everything, and therefore the member of parliament have to try something else?
Well,
government itself say them can't do everything. I know me say it.
Yeah.
Well, if a member of parliament got 10 million allocated last week, less than a week ago, to spend in terms of just hurricane relief, not food, because government and other entities are providing food and care packages. No member of parliament should be complaining now about road not clear and things like that, because 10 million were allocated to you so you can engage contractor or the community and whoever to give them some work to clean up that. No,
I don't think 10 million was for that.
Time within that time, within a week, less than a week, to be on any platform looking for donations. You go back to Andrew Holness and say, look, Andrew Holness, because of Andrew them say, because them not respect, you know. You go back to Andrew and say, look, Andrew, see me invent China, me spend $10 million and people still want help. Show Andrew, show the if you could show the Prime Minister where you spend the $10 million, you wouldn't be on live soliciting funds.
No, but Casey, the Prime Minister tell them that the $10 million is not a fix-all. It's not to fix all. It's not the fix-all. The $10 million is just so that as member of parliament, because neighbor, you know that under the disaster risk management acting a neighbor, there's a certain part of the acting that said that the Prime Minister have to donate funds to these people and these member of people, these member of parliament and those persons who are in the affected area from the disaster fund, you know. So that is the reason why we see this $10 million donation. So it was basically an emergency fund.
It's an emergency fund, and it's to deal with the effect of Hurricane Melissa. What I'm asking, which member of parliament in the West or in St. Elizabeth
spend off the money?
Exhaust that $10 million already.
I think what they want, Casey, is to bring immediate relief.
Yes, it's immediate relief. That's what the $10 million is for immediate relief. It's not, I don't think it's to clearing the road. The $10 million is not to clear the road.
It's not to do any work, to go through any procurement or anything like that. It's under the disaster risk management. It's emergency money.
I think that it's not to clearing the road or anything, Casey. I don't think it's to clearing the road.
No, it's to do what the member of parliament sees fit to do in order to help out in his or her constituency.
Oh,
Prime Minister said it.
It's not to clear road. It's not to clear road. I'm sure about that says not to clear road.
No, Scratchy, it may not be specifically to clear road, but if NWA and others are clearing your road and you, as the member of parliament now, because that's what they came to parliament with and came to the public with, said they cannot approach, are not allowed to approach contractors, so people are marooned and they can't even clear the road to help them. They were given $10 million to do anything to help with the response, immediate response, to give them power, because they claim that the Prime Minister haven't given them any power. They are powerless because they don't have anything to spend.
And the $10 million will be going to the CDF.
Yes, so it's for member of parliament. What would you think it's for, Scotchy?
I mean, the Prime Minister did explain after. He said that it's emergency fund for persons who are in the constituency, who are in dire need. They might have persons who might say, based on the distribution of food, where I go through them, they get no food all now. So a member of parliament have resources can provide for that person. You might have a man in a community neighbor when they eat sardine and bull beef and them things where I go around. Because a ital man, member of parliament might can create a little thing different to him when he can go get female ital type of things that him eat. So it's just emergency fund. It never have a clean road because the Prime Minister know that the extent of the cleanup might deplete this fund.
No, what I'm saying, it cannot clear these roads,
Yes.
The level of work that needs to be done.
Exactly.
But clearing a road can be an emergency job in order to get to some people.
Because I remember say the government are planning. Remember the government also planning a big cleanup week. The government are planning a big cleanup week.
Yes, but the government is not necessarily saying don't clean up anywhere until our cleanup starts. Because
the main cleaning up of the money, the main reason for that money is to just get certain things in angle and get certain things intact. A big cleaning up come this week, coming of the week, and more money again come with a clean up than a neighbor. Okay, so we're cleaning
so what he's asking is, has the member of parliament spent that $10 million yet?
$10 million.
No, I don't think they have spent that $10 million yet.
Then if you have $10 million to spend, and you not even start spending yet.
So why you being a neighbor asking for money? Just using
neighbor. Me not talk political or anything. We all agree that the $10 million cannot do the extent of the damage that is there. So if you must ask the person the same way. What do you mean? The extent of the damage where you have $50 million worth of damage or you have 10, you go suck up your mouth. You're not going to ask more same way.
Yes, ask Andrew.
No, you're not gonna ask Angie. You get 10 already. You're gonna find your own unique way now.
No.
To try to
The
create
Prime
an extent.
Minister, the Prime Minister was not even opposed to giving more, you know. The Prime Minister said they might well end up getting more than 50 million.
Yeah, in
if
the
you
long
listen to
run.
the Prime
In the long
Minister's
run.
speech.
In the long
Because
run.
this is not a 1 day or a 1 week or a 1 month fix.
Neighbor, the big cleanup project that is coming in a neighbor. It's not a free cleanup, you know. Persons in these communities will be employed, you know. Persons that get money in a neighbor for clean up and a clean up there, you know.
Uh-huh.
Some 10 and some 15 and some 20 grand a run for a clean it, I get for understanding.
Oh.
Yes. And nobody was saying the 10 million for the time being wasn't enough because the Prime Minister name miraculously changed from Andrew to Prime Minister last week. If you hear, every opposition members were saying, thank you, Prime Minister, including Mark Jefferson Golden.
Yes, of course, you heard that. That's what.
No, but them can't call him Andrew in the parliament. They couldn't bright and call him Andrew in the parliament.
No, but they like
They
to say
can't call him Andrew in the parliament.
They like to say from time to time the member from West Central St. Andrew.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm gonna forget the Prime Minister honor and respect of the boss, you know, one bro got, you know.
Yes.
One PM, you know.
I remember from is that the member anymore? It was Prime Minister. All of a sudden he's Prime Minister to all of them because guess what? You're the boss 1 PM.
But,
I tell you.
But our neighbor, I believe our neighbor at NWA, the cleanup funding, I hear that some 10 and some 15,000 are coming into these communities, these constituencies for this cleanup thing.
Uh-huh.
A big cleaning up a year is about to launch, neighbor. And it's a week out of cleanup though, just 1 whole week.
Yeah.
1 whole week a year. So a lot coming, neighbor. A lot is coming.
Anyway, Scratch, Casey, we're out of time here, so catch you later.
Yeah, yes, neighbor. Bless you, love. Later.
All right.
Neighbor. Yes, neighbor.
Casey, link me if you're there in the area. Here?
Yes, I'll circle you.
Yeah, man.
Right, here we go.
That's it for us today. Until 7 o'clock tonight. Have a great day. You hear? Bye-bye. Heading out at... But Paulman, is Paulman on? Paulman, are you there? Oh, yeah. Paulman, let's see if we can power up the place and then we head out from you. Yep. Paulman?
Yes, neighbor. Good morning.
Oh, what going on, man?
Yes, neighbor. So much thing, neighbor. So much thing going on.
Huh?
So much thing going on here, but I want to make a quick point here.
Yes.
Yes, neighbor. Regarding of the situation in Jamaica, neighbor, I saw a clip. I think it's yesterday where a truck was carrying some relief supply. I think somewhere in the west down there. And it was so distasteful, neighbor. I can see the rapacious and the audaciousness and the people, them neighbor, as if like they were, I don't know where they were coming from. I see a little girl there was struggling to take a liquor, a crate of drink from off the truck. You know, it is so opprobrious, neighbor.
Yeah, it is.
And the point I want to make, neighbor, in spite of the Zogowangs they are in, neighbor, the AIDS are not going to be a panacea for their problem. They have to try to help themselves, neighbor.
That's true.
They are trying, because I remember, as I said earlier on the program today, when Gilbert struck, I was a teenager, neighbor, and in our areas, no government official never come and give us any handout. The farmer in the area, they use their machete and clear the road with their fork and hoe. Yes. Everybody put on back their roof and get on back with their life. We never get any handout. So I believe these people are supposed to know that aid is not a panacea. They have to try to help themselves, neighbor.
Yeah, man. Life goes on. Life goes on, poor man.
Yes, sir, life goes on.
We have to pick up ourselves, eh?
Yeah, yes, neighbor. It's a very sad situation, neighbor, because when I look in Jamaica and what is happening in Philippines right now, we are in a better position than Philippines right now. Right? There's another typhoon again. About 1 million people have to seek higher grounds. So we should give thanks out here and cut out the perileness.
We can't